how is your spiritual practice? Right? Is it inconsistent? Does it feel like pressure? Is it kind of an all or nothing? Like, where are you at? Where are you at in your spiritual practice? Does it feel like a to-do list, like something you got to check off? Is it supporting you? Does it regulate you? This is really all, this is really what spiritual practice is for. Spiritual practice is not what you do for 20 minutes in the morning, right? Spiritual practice is how often you return to awareness during the day. Morning and evening are definitely anchors, but practice continues throughout the day. Welcome to Walking the Path. We're going to be talking about spiritual practice, your spiritual practice. So welcome. Oh, let me put this on here so I can see if anybody wants to chat. So welcome everybody. So I'm here at Rythmia. Another amazing week here. I taught the New Heart Afterglow class this morning, which is super cool because we talk a lot about the science behind ayahuasca, what's going on the neuropsychological level, what's going on in terms of a psychosomatic response, and what's going on in terms of the alkaloids that are in the medicine and how they're interacting in the body. And we can do all that scientific stuff. We can talk about, the Sigmar-1 gene and neuroplasticity and beta carbolines and harmine and harmaline and tetrabeta harmaline and all that stuff and what they're doing in the body. But there's something mysterious in all of it, right? There's an awe of life in the medicine, something magical. In addition to all the biochemical stuff that's going on, there's something mysterious because there's something magical going on. And it happens every week at Rythmia. It's something miraculous going on. And we had a beautiful week last week. Everybody walked out here with their miracle. I think we had one person who was a no, right? So 99% or whatever it is, really amazing, really, really amazing results of people coming in and being courageous. We have a courageous group of people here that are facing stuff that they hadn't faced before. And it's really not anything scary. It's really just being present to something that you didn't want to sit with. And when you sit with it, it's like, oh, gosh, that wasn't that bad. I got it. It's amazing. So come see us at Rythmia. But I want to talk to you about your spiritual practice because after you leave Rythmia, you're going to want to have a spiritual practice. Whether you come to Rythmia or you don't come to Rythmia, you're going to want to have a spiritual practice. Why? Spiritual practice is the foundational piece, and it's really not about scheduling stuff. It's not about discipline. I mean, it's a part of it, but it's really about returning. It's really about coming back to yourself, being aware. In addition to, the traditional breath work and meditation and yoga, all spiritual practices. But the foundational structure, the life structure of spiritual practice is regulating on so many levels. It regulates your emotional body, your spiritual body, your mental body, and your physical body. And the problem is that people feel their practice is inconsistent. They just can't keep it going. I hear that a lot. It's pressure. It's like just another thing to do in a busy day, and it's sort of all or nothing. I'm either like doing yoga and meditation and breath work and journaling and intention setting and, saying my prayers and doing affirmations and all that. Or I don't do anything. And the approach is to really get clear that spiritual practice is anchored in the morning and evening. And I want to invite you to develop a minimally viable practice. What is the basic practice that you can do on a busy day, right? I have it down to about 15 minutes. I could even get it down to 5 if I cut more stuff out. But I can condense my practices, cut things out, and condense certain key practices like meditation, Kundalini, yoga in the morning. Those are my 2. And then prayer and intention. I want statements, like create my creative statements. Like, what am I creating? Those 3 things I can do in about 12 to 15 minutes on a busy day. I can expand my practice to an hour, hour and a half, if I want, but we don't always have time for that. So it's important that we have an expandable and contractible practice, not to check something off the list, but because it helps us to return. That's like the bare minimum. What's the bare minimum that I need to get regulated in the morning? I need at least 5 minutes of meditation. I need at least 7 to 8 minutes of Kundalini yoga and another 5 minutes or so to do my prayer work and my creative, intentional work. And that at least sets me for the day. Now, on busy days, then what's more important is that I'm continually practicing. It's not my scheduled practice. Well, I got my 15 minutes in and I'm good for the day. How can I bring this through to my everyday life, weave it into my life? Because spiritual practice isn't just meditation or yoga or breath work. It's awareness, it's mindfulness, it's taking a breath, pausing before you respond. It's being aware of a pattern that's running. But most people, practices are meant to stabilize us. And most people are struggling not because they lack practice or discipline. They're struggling because they try to do too much. They're struggling because the practice is associated with pressure and they feel like they failed if they missed. If they fall off, it's a personal failure, a defect, and people feel like they're just starting over again and over again, just keep starting again and again and again. And then when we disconnect, we try and fix ourselves. Like there's something wrong and I got to do this. And if I just did my practice, then I'd be okay. That's more the fix yourself trap. So the issue isn't discipline. It's really a misperception, I would say, a misperception, because practice is really about returning. It's a return to the present moment. So a spiritual practice could be one conscious breath. A spiritual practice could be a pause to interrupt an old pattern. It could be actually feeling something instead of avoiding it. A spiritual practice could be keeping a promise to yourself. It could be self-care. It could be connecting with nature. It could be a moment of a body scan. It could be anything that interrupts an unconscious pattern and brings you present in the moment. That can be your spiritual practice. Now, yes, having your morning and evening anchors are really, really important. But again, because they make you feel good, because you notice something regulates in your body when you do it, and it supports you, not because you're trying to be. It's not spiritual performance. You know what I mean? And the key here to pulling spiritual practice through in your day is mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't just. It really weaves all the spiritual practices together. And it doesn't require more time, and it doesn't require more doing. It just requires awareness. That's really what it is. I mean, basically, at the entry level, mindfulness is awareness, right? But there's a deeper level of mindfulness, which is like not identifying with the circumstances and conditions of the present moment, not getting fused, right? So it's not like I'm anxious. It's like I'm having an experience of being, I'm having the sensation of anxiety in my body right now, having a sensation of anger. I'm not anger, but my body, I'm having this experience. I'm having a sensation. That's mindfulness. That's not being fused with something. It's at least getting a little bit of space between you and the experience, because you're not the experience. You're not your thoughts. You're not your body. We are a unique emanation of infinite intelligence. We are the eternal observer that's observing all this stuff going on in our body, and we get confused. I do. I don't know about you, but I get really associated with my body. Like, this is me, but this isn't me. I have to keep reminding myself of that. That's part of being mindfulness. So when we have awareness and we're non-reactive, we can come back to the present moment. Awareness, non-reactivity, present moment. And there's a way to do this, right? To move from I'm anxious to I'm experiencing anxiety right now. I'm having a sensation of anxiety in my body right now. Let me get curious about that. Where's that coming from? What's that about? Instead of, oh, right? So it's like when you're triggered, you pause. If you're scrolling, you catch yourself. Right? This is mindfulness. You're anxious, and instead of identifying with it, becoming it, fusing it, you or start trying to fix it. This is another thing. I was talking to a guy today, and he was like, I'm just feeling really bad today. I felt pretty good last night in ceremony, and now I'm just feeling kind of bad. And he, we talked about it, and it was like, what if I could just accept how I'm feeling and not try and get out of it? Maybe actually experience it. There's some pearls here. There's some good information here, but I can't access that if I am trying to get out of the experience because I don't want to feel bad. Nobody wants to feel bad. But if I do, the more I try and get out of it, the harder it's going to be. I just get stuck in the quicksand of it. But when I can be present to it and say, all right, and be honest, I can be honest and say, I would prefer not to be feeling like shit right now. I would really prefer a different experience. And I know there's something here. I know there's something here for me. What is it? I can't see it. I can't see the good in me feeling like shit right now. But I know there's good here. Help me to see it. That's a whole different approach. It's a subtle shift. So, it's like unconscious living versus conscious living. Unconscious living is like I'm on autopilot. I'm reactive. I identify with my emotions. I am my emotions. Conscious living is being aware, noticing, pausing, choosing. This is spiritual practice. It's not just what you do in the morning and hopefully in the evening. And mindfulness is really one of the most important integration tools that we have. Mindfulness, there are masters, Thich Nhat Hanh, master, gentle, sweet, loving presence of just mindfulness is doing the dishes, being aware of your steps, right? Just being aware I'm walking on this earth that's giving me food and fruit and vegetables and air and water. Oh my God, like so often we're unconscious, just walking over this thing, not even realizing that we're walking on holy ground. This sacred earth that's supporting us. This is awareness. So Thich Nhat Hanh brings this forth. I love John Kabat-Zinn, who was really cool because like in the late 70s, early 80s, he started studying mindfulness from a scientific level. He took all the like Buddhist stuff and took all of the spiritual or non-scientific language out of it, and then studied, rewrote it and applied it and studied it scientifically and found decreased cortisol levels, non-judgment of the experience created. It was for people that had chronic stress and anxiety, and it had tremendous results for nervous system regulation. Scientifically verified results of nervous system regulation when we just become mindful. The nervous system is what takes all of our, anxiety and fear, and it just holds it and holds it and holds it. Regulating it, allowing it to complete these loops, to experience what we've been not wanting to experience, to allow it, is what calms the nervous system down. Eckhart Tolle is another great example of mindfulness. There's nothing but now. He talks about awareness of the pain body, and that now is the only reality. Ram Dass is another great example. Be here now. Beautiful, radical shift in identity, that you're not your mind, and I love Ram Dass said, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. Listening. We listen. A contemporary guy, Sam Harris, I really like him. And his idea is, total non-dual mindfulness, right? Like stepping into a deep awareness of awareness itself, really. So these are key pieces to spiritual practice, not just the morning and evening. Now, in your morning and evening, morning and evening meditation are foundational pieces. But I want you to know that it's not about performance. It's not about checking things off. It's about what makes you feel good. And if you want to start a new habit, the key pieces are keep the barrier of entry low and make it fun and attach it to something that cues your new habit. So, you don't want to say, I'm going to start meditating, I'm going to sit down for 30 minutes every day, or even 15 minutes. That can be a long time if you're starting meditation again, or new to meditation. What if you just said a minute today, 2 minutes tomorrow? Maybe you just add a minute every day. Or maybe you do a week of 5 minutes or 1 minute. Like, keep the barrier low. And then it can be a little bit more fun because it's not like, oh God, I got to sit there for 15 minutes, right? And maybe attach it to something like, I get up in the morning, I drink a glass of water, and then I sit and meditate. I pee, drink a water, and meditate. So that now every time you drink water, it's cueing meditation. So 3 key pieces: low barrier of entry, um, make it fun and easy, and pair it with something that cues it. Great way to start this practice. And I want to encourage you to begin uh, morning and evening meditation, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. Begin to pause and be aware for a minute. And then bring this throughout your day. You can set timers. I love to set alarms on my phone so that, at 11:11 and 1:11 and 4:44 or 3:33, or my alarm goes off and it just says, I have an alarm that says nothing right now, nothing is missing, or one that says do a body scan. So the alarm goes off as soon as I can. I just 30 seconds scan my body, just become present, just become aware, and go on my way. Those little moments throughout your day will make a huge difference and will also increase your desire to sit in the evening because you feel connected to this practice. So spiritual practice is really about being present and being aware. And there's all sorts of things that we can do. Oh, great, Bridget, thank you. And she says, I'm looking forward to your book. Me too. If you know any, I'm trying to figure out how to publish it. So any help anybody can give me, let me know. You can direct message me. So mindfulness is super, super important. But I really want to bring this back to I want to leave you with one thing you can do throughout the day, which is to pause, notice, and return. Just pause for a moment. When you notice something's triggering you, when you notice emotions are rising, pause and then observe. Observe what's going on. Just notice and return to the present moment. Everything right here, right now. I'm right here, right now. When we can do that, we begin to shift and interrupt patterns. All we need to do is begin to interrupt these patterns and redirect. And little by little, the nervous system begins to calm. You actually feel better in your body. Cortisol levels are reduced. Um, Anxiety is reduced. Chronic pain and stress are reduced by our awareness. So that's the invitation. Spiritual practice, more than just your morning and evening practices. Key points: consistency over intensity. So make your morning practice expandable and contractible. What's your minimal viable practice? Write it down. What are the things that, like, I got to do these 3 things and I can get them done in 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, so that you are touching in for a moment before you start your day. And then on those days when you do have to compress your practice, but even when you don't have to compress your practice, string in, thread mindfulness throughout your day. And then the simple pause, notice, return brings back awareness. All right, that's our talk today. Thank you so much. I hope to see you at Rythmia. And I look forward to connecting with you. And I'll see you next week for Walking the Path. Blessings.